Alright guys, how's it going? We just got landed into Kansas, me and Cody, a few hours ago. It is a couple days before the opener of our muzzleloader archery season down here, so we got to the ranch, we swung inside, we turned the AC on, we grabbed a whole stack full of memory cards, everyone I could find, which was 10. We went and changed basically the 10 nearest cameras to the house here. So it was super hot, it's like 98 degrees, something like that outside. And so we came in, we're gonna check these 10 cameras, and then we're gonna go probably check another 3 or 4 tonight, depending on how this goes. So we did this last year, it worked out pretty well. You guys seem to like it, and it's kind of nice. It's the beginning of the season. We're gonna basically just be going through cards. Out of these 10 cameras, I'm hoping they all worked, obviously, but I have a feeling that some of them aren't going to. When I was back, these have all been sitting for a couple weeks, mind you. Before I left, I was having a little bit of trail cam problem. We actually have like a half a dozen of them ordered to come in next week so we can replace some of the ones that we're having problems with. But I did my best to get every camera working, so hopefully if none of them work, hopefully if we have problems, it's only with a couple. We'll see how it goes. So we're gonna get right into it. Just gonna kind of see how we go. We got 10 cameras, probably gonna be like 2,000 or 3,000 pictures per camera. If I had to guess, we might do a counter up on the screen. I'm not sure yet, so. Alright guys, this is a spot we call Deerfields right here. I didn't even see how many pictures there are. There's only 684. That's kind of odd. It was only a 2 gigabyte an accident. So I'm hoping, I assume it ran out of memory, but that even seems light for 2 gig. So anyway, there's the first little buck. We're gonna kind of go through these pretty quick. Nice little up and comer guy right there at the fawn. Nice to see. We'll save a couple pictures of them. But these should be towards the end of this clip of all. Ooh, whoa, okay. There we go, right off the bat. So, this buck right here on the right, we call IKEA from last year. We actually had an encounter with him last year. He grew a lot. He's 100% a shooter. This is obviously a younger deer, and this is a really small deer. But look at the character. I mean, look at that, Cody. Look at the extra junk coming off this little 1.5-year-old buck. It's so cool to see. But yeah, so this buck right here is IKEA. He's at least 6 years old. Definitely on our hit list. Any better pictures on this? So this point right here is an inner kicker point. So that's kind of where we got the inner kicker 10s, what we call them, IKEA, kind of flowed. Bunch of little bucks. That's good. That must have been the first night. So save some of these and continue on. So this was in August. I just filled these feeders. I believe that's IKEA again. Don't know why it's not there. Yeah. So that's IKEA. Awesome buck. Kind of short brows and short G2s, which kind of sucks, but I'm going to say he's at least in the 160s without just looking at him quickly. He just got a huge frame, and that extra point really makes a difference. But who knows? I have a really good feeling someone will harvest it this year. We're going to hunt him a little bit harder than we hunted him last year. For sure. This is him in the back right here. These are younger deer. Comer. We're going to rip through these pretty fast. Here's him again. These are our velvet, but look at that. Look at that point. That is a long, it's got to be a 10-inch extra point right there, which is huge. This was like a really big, this was the best spot we had early season last year. It doesn't really seem like it's as good this year. Like we had, I think, 4 shooters hitting us this time last year. That is a different buck. Let's see if we can get a better picture of him. Why won't it let me? It's annoying. Okay. It's a nice young deer. Looks like he's got some kind of split or extra brow points there or something. But it's like a 3-year-old. Nice little deer. Nice to see. Not what we're looking for though. Cool picture. So there's that one that I said was younger, but he might be older than that. I don't know. I don't think he's a shooter, but he could definitely be a 4-year-old. Get a little better look at him. Bunch of bucks. There's IKEA again. Just looking for other different deer we haven't seen. I was thinking about this year. They move around a little bit, especially on cool fronts. They'll explore some new area, but for the most part, the deer you got is the deer you got till the beans start to fall off and your fall food plots really start to come in. Which can be good and bad. It can be really good if you have the deer, but not so great if you do not. Okay, that was it for that. Definitely something happened with the camera. I definitely ran out of space. I don't know why I had a 2 gigabyte in this thing. That's completely my bad. We only got like 10 days worth of pictures, not even like a week's worth of pictures. So that's a little unfortunate, but it just happens. Alright, this one has between 2,000 and 3,000 pictures. This is a place we call Observation, which I'm actually glad this worked because this camera didn't work through the middle part of the summer. So I'm kind of excited. We got it here. Sorry, Cody's doing a puzzle in the background while I'm trying to film this video. He's a cool buck. Big brows. Well, I wouldn't say he's a shooter or anything, but definitely a nice looking deer. Nice bases. We love to see big brows. That's a trait that we never used to have up until the last like 5 years or so, maybe even 3 years. We've been getting a lot. The brows of our deer have been getting a lot better, and it's good to see improvements like that. It's that same buck. He's with another one. That one was at the last spot. These aren't too horribly far away from each other. So 8 point. I'm gonna waste your guys' time looking at them. Deer's definitely got some potential. Not what we were looking for, though. We're going to buzz through these pretty quick since there's so many more pictures on this camera. And more than likely, when deer that comes in now, even if I do miss, if it's not a great shot and I kind of blow past it a little bit, chances are he's going to come back plenty more times. A lot of 10s this year, which I'm obviously loving. Whenever you're 2 to 4 year olds or 10 points instead of 8 points, it's always a good thing. Just some of those up and comer 10s. Oh, hardhorn. It's kind of cool.
So this is an observation.
Yeah. He's a nice buck. He's a really nice up and comer. I really like his brows. He's got like lucky brows. That's like last year. But he's a 10. Love to see the 10 points. Okay. Give us big old boy. I don't really know who I'm expecting to see here. No one really in particular. Tank. Could see Tank here maybe if he's still alive.
He's gotta be getting old.
He's like 9, I think 8, 9 this year. I'd have to go back and look at the old pic. He's old. He's been really old for a long time. I mean, I say nothing. There's a lot of deer for sure, but nothing of the quality we're hoping to see on our cameras. But I guess that could change. There's still a lot of deer still in ag fields and standing corn and beans and not just really feeding that much, not moving that much at all. That would be it. Looks like this is a place that we call Sutherland's, if I'm not mistaken. I could have been wrong, but I don't think there was a single buck in that 1,000 pictures. Oh.
Here they are.
There's one up and comer. Look at that guy.
We found him.
Brutal.
After an hour-long search.
Well, that's cool. I wasn't really expecting to see him here.
Is there a back door still?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen them at back door?
Not for any amount of time.
Yeah.
So if you guys are new here, you guys haven't watched a shed hunt video, we do have elk on the property. Completely free range, they come and go. They obviously have a much bigger range than a deer, so sometimes they stay on it for a couple weeks, sometimes they're come for a day or two and leave, sometimes they're here for a season. You never know.
Elk be elking. They don't really like cows.
Yeah, they don't really love cows. So they usually if there's a lot of cows in the pasture, you'll kind of push them off. But they seem to be getting more and more used to them. Alright, oh wow, okay, so this one got 1, 2, 3, at least 4,000 something pictures. So, gotta be some, oh, this is Texas, okay. There's gonna be something good here, you know that. camera's a little too close. This should be pretty much. I know we'll get a picture of the elk. Oh, did he already shed his velvet? Holy cow! There's the buck I want to shoot this year.
Oh, dude. Double flyer.
Yeah, so this is, we call him Vixen. Some people call him Flyer. There's a lot going on in this picture, but he's got a big club from right here that goes all the way down to here, and then on this kind of on his main beam like a drop tine, and then on this G2 he's got a huge point, and then a huge point. Looks like maybe a third point, and this is all like just a big knot. So he's old. He's 8.5 years old.
Always bust his points.
He's always bust his points off in October. So we've never really been. I mean, we've been trying to shoot him for the last. This is his 4th year. He's been 5 and 5, and when he's 5 and he was 6, when he was 7, and now when he was 8, we've been trying to kill this deer. And he just like he doesn't. He's not super active during early season, and then he breaks. This is the buck we call COVID. He didn't really do a whole lot, but he is mature. So I mean, I'd like to see him in person. I don't know. It's kind of up to I mean, if someone wants to shoot him, I guess. But he is a 5.5-year-old deer. Yeah, he doesn't look very good right there, but flyer again. Like I said, I don't know what he's. Oh, he's even got a point off there. I mean, looking at that, so he's got this big. This is all the way to here. Is like it's got to be an 11, 12-inch kicker. He's got that kicker, and then he's got like 2 or 3 off that side. This is split. He's got a lot of points.
He's got a lot.
He's cool. He's so cool. I want to shoot him so bad. He loves to break his G2s off, which breaks off all kinds of junk with it, and then we just never shoot him. We never even hunt him after that because we're not going to shoot him at 4 points. Oh, here's the elk. So this should be the same elk. This is where the elk tend to hang out more. Yeah, it's the same elk. So this is, I expect to see him here quite often. If I'm going to see him anywhere, I assume he's going to be here. So that COVID buck, a little bit better picture of him. I think this camera, I moved this camera in a little bit different than what it was, and for some reason I think it's making these deer look smaller than they actually are. Because I know like some of these deer are definitely bigger, especially like the elk and stuff. Even the elk doesn't look as big here as it is in other pictures I have of them other places. So I think it's something I might have did with the angle of the camera, might be a little bit higher or something. I don't know.
Who's
His flyer.
Oh,
His beam literally, that point's like longer than his beam. It's so crazy. I think the deer's gonna score like over 170. It just doesn't. I don't think he's got so much extra points.
a lot of go.
Like I don't really care what he goes, but he's just so cool. He's a deer that I almost want to have mounted like nose to the wall. You know what I mean? It's like hard. Look at that. That's all 1 point. I mean, how many extra inches is that? I mean, that's got to be 10 inches.
Do you get him rubbing against the log?
So say that's 10, that's 8, that's another 2, so that's 20, and say that's 7, that's 27 extra inches. That means and then that's not even counting the big one on the other side, which has got to be another 12, 10.
He's 10.
Just 37 extra inches on a buck that probably is already like in a 140 frame.
Yeah. He's a nice one, dude. He's sick. Look at that. Look at the paddle.
Look at that. It's so cool.
He gets more impressive the further you scroll back. You really take it in.
Yeah, look at on this picture. You can't even see that like 12-inch kicker that's coming off right here, on the backside. And I don't know what that is. Those are some extra points. I bet he's got 35, 40 inches of
He's got
junk.
a lot of fucking junk.
And it's like it's not a lot of junk, but the junk he has is huge.
Yeah.
Like a few, 3, 4-inch stickers is very common, but not 8, 10-inch stickers. It reminds me a lot of your buck, you know.
Who, Rudolph?
No, your pig one. Alright, we got 2. If it's the 2 I'm thinking of, there should be 2 bangers. We got where I shot my. Oh, geez, so loud. Alright, we'll get 2 chips left. we got, it should be where I shot my buck last year, and then a new spot where we just put a feeder up in a really good area. I think about making a food. I want to put a food plot up there. I don't know about this fall. Definitely next year. So we'll see. We'll see which one is what first one. Top of the world. Where I shot my buck last year. One of my favorite spots. Although it wasn't as much 8 as I would have thought there would be. Ooh, there's a deer. There's a deer. It's like a big 8 with a split brow. No, I don't know if I recognize it. Let's pull for a better picture of cameras. Not angle where we should be. I think this is the buck that me and Theo found the set, or I found the set of sheds of when Theo was here. This buck is the old wide 10. He keeps getting smaller every year. I think he loses an inch off all his points every year. He is old. He's another 8, 7, 8-year-old buck. Yeah, 7. I don't exactly know. He's old. He's over 7. He may have been 7 last year. Holy cow. Okay. There's 1, 2, 3, 4.
6,000.
Up to 6,000 pictures on this one. Every one of these folders are 1,000 pictures if you guys can figure that out. There's a good chance we see Lucky on here. There's the crossover buck.
One would say we'd be pretty lucky to see Lucky.
It's a crossover buck that Mark's been seeing a lot of that I haven't get to get a picture of. This should be the place to do it. What is going on with him? He's a 5-point.
That's brutal.
What the heck? Well guys, that was it for these pictures. I would give it like a B minus, a B. I mean, like, not bad. Some awesome bucks. Not as many as I was hoping to see, but we still have quite a few spots to check, and it's still early in the season, and whatever. One of the cameras didn't work. A couple of the cameras had 2 gigabytes that filled up in the first week, so a lot of time left. Going around, the stuff I planted back in August is getting about that tall, so the deer should start hitting that, and the farmers out cutting corn and stuff like that, and the leaves are falling off the beans. More and more leaves are falling off the farmers' beans every day. So a lot of stuff's going good in our direction. It's only a matter of time for a bunch more deer to show up. I have absolutely not really any worries about that. So we're gonna go. We take a little nap. Like I said, we got in just a couple hours ago. Traveled all night from Alaska, and then get up and check at least 3, if not 4 or 5 more trail cameras. All right, guys, how's it going? We took a little bit of a nap, took some showers, went out, got a few more chips. Actually was pretty surprised on the sign on these locations. More, especially in one, it was definitely more than I was expecting to see, like how much a food plot was ate and tore up, and how much was left in the feature and stuff like that. So we're gonna get right into it. I really hoped it all worked, obviously. This one I was expecting to be good, and I think it's going to be. So right off the bat, it's a decent looking buck. Check him again. Not a shooter or anything, but it's a good sign. Like a pretty big frame, but just not a lot of points. A 9-pointer. But I say at least he's 4. That seems to be like an older deer. I believe this deer right here on the left is the one we've been looking at. Maybe not. Yeah, so that's that deer. This one I'm not sure. Maybe it's a 10. Oh, let's look for a better picture of him. Assume that's him. Looks like a nice buck. Like I said, again, at least a 4-year-old, I'd say. Without just looking at him better. I don't know. This deer, okay, so this deer is super old. It's not a very good picture. I mean, this deer has been gnarly, like just a small buck for years. He's like, 6, 7 years old right here. Just never big old gut, way past maturity. Never really did anything. Never really been much more than that. Never really been much less than that. Just buck no one that wants to shoot. He's not very big, obviously. So there's that 9. That looks like an 8. There's just a lot of bucks here. Like, none of them look huge. I'm not really depicting them and figuring out which ones are which, but like, you just, oh boy. Oh, what is this? Is this another Rudolph? Oh, the saga continues. Cody!
Yeah.
Come here. Look at this buck.
Is it a new one?
Yeah.
Dude, is that Rudolph? Back from the dead?
Go make sure he's still downstairs. What the? Really? I thought we got rid of that. Look at him. I can't tell how old he is. He doesn't look young. Jeez.
Dude. That's who you should shoot.
Oh yeah.
Screw Flyer.
Yeah, screw. Yeah. He's dang as big as Rudolph.
That's so embarrassing. Not even as big as Rudolph.
Hey, Rudolph scored like 105, didn't he?
Yeah, dude, he was a monster.
Yeah, it's probably the biggest mainframe spike horn ever shot. Oh, there's a lot of nice bucks sitting here. Oops. Look at this picture. It's a nice picture.
What?
It's Tank!
Dude, he's still kicking.
He is still kicking. Alright guys, so this is Tank. Has not changed. I mean, he probably has, but in the last 5 years at least, he really hasn't gotten any bigger, any smaller, maybe a little heavier, who knows, but this is an awesome buck. It's like maybe a little smaller last year, it's kind of hard to tell, but it's a buck that I would really like someone to shoot, just to end the legacy and before he dies of old age, because it's just, which is going to happen eventually. I think he's again another 8-year-old, 9-year-old buck. Just a cool deer.
How does he look though?
Not bad.
So he doesn't look like a Rudolph.
No.
Rudolph look.
He looks.
Rudolph looked his age.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, I don't think you would necessarily know his age, like how old he is, unless he just has as much history as I did. That's another 10 point, by the way, back there, guys. I'll try to get a better picture. In the daylight, 8:30. What time is it? That's pretty dark, actually. 7:30. So an hour from now, that might be off a little bit. I mean, as you can tell, I think it's still shooting light, but it's like right at the end of it. But of course, if he's at the feeder, he's probably been out in the field for 10 minutes, you know. Well, guys, that's it for this chip. That was pretty productive. There was 3 or 4 bucks that are right in that 4 to 5 age class, right around 150 probably. There was Tank, who's I don't know, probably 150, but he's just 8 or 9 years old, so it doesn't really matter. Wacky Rudolph Jr. buck, which I hate to see.
Those are the bucks that have character.
And then, yeah, Tank, obviously. And just a bunch of deer. A lot of deer. That's good. And the camera worked, so. Okay, last one. This will be the 80. End it with the banger. I think this is an 11 pointer I've been getting pictures of. Yeah, it's got that G2 back there. He's a nice buck, but here's just that same buck. He's a nice deer. He probably scored pretty decent. I just haven't been convinced he's old enough yet. And this has always been one of our best spots for just sheer numbers of deer. We've shot some nice ones in the past. That, I believe, is the 11 pointer. If not, it's a deer I'm not familiar with. Let's see. Yeah, so he's got that little G2 you couldn't see in the last picture. That's him. Thanks for watching. It's getting a little dark in here. It's getting dark outside, but like I said, I'm not mad, but I wouldn't say I'm extremely impressed or blown away by the pictures. I'm not too worried. I know there's a lot of big bucks I haven't got a picture of this year that made it through until late January, and I did a decent amount of shed hunting this year and never found a single dead buck or doe or anything. So I think they're just off doing whatever they're doing right now, and it's not including eating on my feeders. So not too concerned about it. Hunting season starts up in a couple days. Muzzleloader season, like I said, I'm going to be probably targeting that flyer buck we call Vixen. And there's still a bunch of other, 4 or 5 other shooters that me and my parents can target while we are here. And then obviously I expect to see more in the next coming weeks before it actually gets into the rut and when all the beans die off and our food plots are really shining. They're just starting to get about this tall, and the deer are just starting to find them, I think, and hit them. So it'll only be up from here, guys. I can promise you that. So thanks for watching. Keep an eye out. We'll usually do like 1 deer video a week once it starts. So we'll try to keep that at least that this year. And let us know what you think. If any names for any deer you saw, or I didn't really do it like I did last year, but if you have any name suggestions or opinions that may differ than mine, I'd love to hear them. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.